Live from the Checkpoint XP studios.
He's about to pull off the Alamo. He's unbelievable. Nico is on fire. Oh my goodness, how does he do this?
On radio's #1 show for esports and competition, Checkpoint XP Radio, a Beasley esports product.
Welcome to Checkpoint XP. You're hanging with Weird Beard, Robbie Landis, and someone who fell deep into a YouTube retro 8-bit chill music hole, me, James Campbell.
All right, retro 8-bit chill music.
Yeah, so it's lo-fi, like chill beats and stuff, but inspired by 8 and 16-bit music.
All right, so here's a little clip. I've not heard this, but you gave this to me to play.
This was super chill when I was writing some stuff for the show.
All right, here we go.
You even got an electronic saxophone in there.
This ain't bad. This ain't bad.
Are you imagining yourself as the 8-bit saxophone player, James?
I am, but I just don't even know how to air sax very well. I was like, I don't know. Do they like kind of wiggle the finger parts on the saxophone?
The finger part.
Ah, yes, you're a very good finger part player, James.
Well, I've been told that by more than one. We've spoken about the controversy around hot tub content on Twitch a few times in the past months, and it seems like the platform doesn't really care if viewers are flocking to streams featuring half-naked girls chatting and bouncing around in hot tubs or kiddie pools for no reason other than it attracts viewers. They even made a statement saying that as long as the content creators are not in violation of the community guidelines for sexually explicit content, there'll be no bans issued. Well, it seems Twitch, in fact, may actually care and have taken a step towards not becoming a barely legal OnlyFans incubator. Weird Beard, what has Twitch done?
Twitch has pooped the bed one more time. Is really what's happened here. They've officially launched what they call, it's like a whole different category, right? So if you're somebody who's not familiar with Twitch, like you can sort by games, you can sort by just chatting. Or you can
look for specific games.
Yeah, so like just chatting or people that are just hanging out and talking, right?
Yeah.
Or you have like an IRL type category, which was people out in the real world doing things. They've now launched one that is going to contain all of the hot tub meta people.
Yeah.
I think the exact phrasing of it is hot tubs and poolside.
Hot tubs, pools, and beaches.
I want to call it human soup.
I mean, all right, you're not wrong. But essentially what Twitch says is here, now that you have a category for it, if you're going to do that sort of content, make sure you're in the right category. And now, this way, if you specifically want to look for that content, you have a place to find it.
So that way, when I'm trying to watch Animal Crossing players, I'm not watching a baby.
Right.
In a hot
Or,
tub.
yes, in that case, if you don't want to see that type of content, it won't come across your feed if you basically block it out, right?
Now with that, though, has come the kind of, this is more wibble wobble from Twitch because, again, like you said, about a week ago, they said, oh, it's all chill. You don't slip up and have a wardrobe malfunction. If it's within guidelines, you're good. This is now essentially putting it on its own island. And along with that comes different ad expectations. It's going to be so that companies that don't want to run their ads on anything that's poolside or with girls in bikinis, they just wouldn't do it.
Right, potentially. And this part right here actually comes off the heels of Twitch streamer, goes by the name of Amaranth. She's one of the biggest female streamers.
Oh, I'm very familiar with her.
On Twitch. She actually found out in the middle of her stream the other day that she can no longer run ads. Usually you have a tool in your toolbar that you can basically hit run ad, it'll run ad, you get money for it. She makes, on average, about $1,000 a day just through her ads.
Wow.
And they just took it away from her.
Now, this is her. I'm going to play a clip first before we talk more about Amaranth. She knew that she was not good for the long-term viability of Twitch with their ads. This is what she had to originally say before the ban. This was from last week.
Probably damaging for Twitch's ad revenue. However, if they allow it, they allow it. You know? It's their choice.
And so they really, that's the stance that she
just
held.
really quick, I just want to correct something you said. She hasn't been banned. She's still on the platform. She just can't monetize her channel through ads. So
Sorry, I meant ad ban.
Right, so she still gets subs, she can still get bits, and she said that this doesn't really hurt her because she basically has a bunch of different ad revenues, whether it's OnlyFans, cosplay stuff, all over the place. But this is sort of, a bellwether for anyone else who's in on this hot tub meta that going forward, it seems like the way that Twitch may start to disincentivize trends that they don't like by taking away your ability to earn money.
issue that we're concerned about now as partners on Twitch is Twitch doing anything to our monetization without giving us any warning. No notice at all. Just poof and not saying anything. None of us are concerned about the fact that they turn monetization off. We get that that's expected with this kind of content eventually. Everyone saw it coming. The main issue is that they've done it without any warning. And then also begs the question, what else? What else will they go after next that isn't advertiser friendly?
And I get that, like, money talks, especially with Twitch. It seems like for all the controversies that they've been through, the only thing that ever makes anything like actually happen for sure at Twitch is when money gets involved.
Exactly. And I wonder, too, who is this we? She keeps saying, we knew this was going to happen.
I think it's all hot tub streamers.
Okay.
I think anybody who is in on the
Is there
meta.
like some sort of a hot tub streaming union or something that they're all like...
Are you trying to do research right now?
Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I want to get into the hot tub. I want to be part of the human soup category.
Gross.
Find out which Valorant Pro drew over 30,000 viewers on his return right after this.
Time is up. Oh my god.
Checkpoint XP's Close Shave. Watch it at checkpointxp.com.
Pros in esports always seem to be adapting to new situations, but at the end of the day, they do what they have to do in order to win. And that's what Gabe Spongy Greener did when he was in the middle of playing a serious pro match while he was living at home. And while he was playing, his dad walked in, shirtless, to talk to him during the game. Listen as the casters react to his dad making a quick appearance.
Spongy chasing him down, and the knife's out for Liaz. Everything gets a little bit weird there. Bad news, bears.
Well, his dad's just in the background,
hello?
like...
Hello?
Might be seeing a quick little timeout here. Someone's dad is...
Dad!
I'm in a game!
Away. I'm literally playing for a chance to be at the major, Dad!
We're live, Dad!
That's actually brilliant,
Oh,
man.
Jonji's room looks like ours now.
That is too funny.
Shout out.
That's like serious. Dad, don't bother me when I'm at work, Dad.
I mean, it's like, listen, esports players work so hard to not be considered, you know what I mean, like basement dwellers who live with their
There are
parents.
certain stereotypes we're still trying to escape.
And then, of course, like, he's fighting to get into a major, and his dad comes in and is just like, hey, everybody, what's going on?
You winning, son?
Yeah, exactly.
Dad, your dad bod's distracting. Spongy himself didn't look too entertained, but it's fair to say that everyone watching the broadcast was. Bad News Bears ended up losing in 2 very tight maps to Extremum, but it probably wouldn't be fair to pin that on Spongy's dad.
We already talked to plenty of crank callers, but we want to talk to you now. 1-833-557-0974. And we promise not to charge you long distance unless you leave a funny voicemail.
Valorant, again, is at the center of some former drama, and a lot of it is centered around former Overwatch pro turned Valorant star Sinatra. Sinatra has been very vague about what is happening with him, causing rumors to swirl in regards to his return back to professional Valorant. But some recent news can put the rumors to bed. Weirdbeard, I heard Sinatra's coming back.
Yeah, so, I mean, possibly. It's not like...
He's at the very least back to streaming, which
Correct.
is still unfortunate.
So, Riot officially handed down what is a 6-month professional ban to Sinatra so that he cannot compete in Valorant. That's essentially taking him out for the entire rest of the year, right? Because in 6 months, Worlds will have been played by that point. So what's going to happen, we're not so sure yet. You know, this came off the heels of what we talked about last week where, you know, he stepped out. He said, oh, I remember my relationship different than my ex's and, you know, things could have happened, blah, 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 blah. Really, the 6-month ban that they gave was because Sinatra did not cooperate with the investigation. So this all kicked off because his ex alleged that there was a video showing that he, you know, forced himself upon her. And when Riot approached him, Sinatra said, I don't have it. I deleted it. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, he claimed that he had the videos that proved his innocence, but he also didn't cooperate and provide that video. So, you know, Riot basically said that what they were able to find out isn't enough for them, obviously, to rule on it. And as far as the actual case with the sexual assault allegations go, you know, that's going to be left up to the authorities. But the way that they can punish him is not
Not allowing him to play.
Well, not only that, but it's not a judicial ruling, right? Like if there's still an investigation going on. So if he actually was found to be guilty of something by the law, I guarantee you they're going to revise how long.
Yeah,
they
here's
punish
Riot's statement. While the investigation did not come to a definitive conclusion on the underlying allegations, the competitive operations team had serious concerns with Sinatra's conduct during the course of the investigation. It was determined that on at least 2 occasions, Sinatra misrepresented certain facts, made false statements, and did not cooperate with the investigation in a way expected of a proficient Valorant esports player.
Well, that's wild to me that you would have video evidence to completely clear your name.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I have this video evidence. I could completely clear my name. I could get back into playing the Valorant as a professional. My streaming,
well, here's the
would
thing.
Be back to normal.
All of this, the real issue came from after the ban happened, right? A 6-month ban. He went on and live streamed, and he had 30,000 people not only tune in, but tons and tons and tons of Overwatch pros, like people still active as professionals, jumping into his stream, dropping subs, dropping like
and
all
claiming,
He's getting a lot of support from these guys.
And that's the reason why I think, from his point of view, you claim that you have evidence and that you're innocent is for the people who actually want to believe it, whether or not it's actually true or not. And the sad fact is, even if he never makes it back into Valorant, he's still probably going to have a very lucrative streaming career.
Yeah, just as a content creator.
Yeah, it's just a real shame to see other professional esports players, whether they're in Valorant or not, kind of want to be associated with somebody that's like
disgusting.
under, whether or not he did something, the fact that he's under investigation would give me personally pause. And I just wish that I would see that from some of these other players that I, enjoy looking and watching.
Coming up next, the king of all gamer drama, Weirdbeard, has another juicy gamer drama-filled trip into the Checkpoint XP Drama Dome. Weirdbeard, what kind of drama do you have for us?
This week, you'll never guess what Dr. Disrespect was caught live watching on stream.
Oh, boy. I have a couple of guesses. Hear about that and more when Checkpoint XP returns.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Stay in the loop with the latest in esports and video game news and some Twitch drama.
Huge elimination on Takamura.
Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and gaming.
Welcome back. You're listening to me, James Campbell, as well as Weirdbeard, and someone who has never played a Castlevania game, Mr. Platinum, Robbie Landis.
I think the closest that I've played, and it was because someone bought it for me on stream, is I think there was a recent one that was sort of like a spiritual successor. I don't even remember the name of it, but I think I played like 10 minutes. But beyond that, nope. Not really big into like the Metroidvania style of games.
Is it just
Not even
that?
Symphony of the Night? Symphony of the Night was like, Requiem was like the deal. It's
Nope.
good.
Nope. Castlevania and Mega Man, put them up there. Never played them.
I think it's because Robbie's secretly scared of Dracula.
That's exactly what it is.
The king of all gamer drama here at Checkpoint XP is Weirdbeard. He's been teasing that everyone's favorite fake doctor, Dr. Disrespect, was kind of caught with his pants down. Weirdbeard, what's going on with the good doctor?
So, Dr. Disrespect has run into a little bit of a whoopsie. We're going to talk about Nadeshot's $100,000 Warzone event later on here in just a little bit. But Dr. Disrespect was watching it live on a stream. Remember, he's on YouTube because, as everybody knows, kicked off of Twitch for the rest of forever.
Why?
Which nobody knows why still to this day.
Nobody knows, but
It's one of those secrets held by the Illuminati. We're never going to find out.
it's very interesting because he's watching this event, and next thing you know, it shows that he is watching on Twitch, and he has a response for them. This is him being discovered and then responding.
Like literally,
It's
them, I just see
it's 304-hour score because they updated that pretty quickly.
And then hit with the purple screen.
Let me take a look.
Oh, snap. You can even see his reaction through his sunglasses and mustache. Whoopsie. Whoopsie poopsie.
What the hell is this?
Hello, if you're seeing this, you're not already on Twitch on gaming.
He's trying to watch Twitch without giving the view to Twitch, isn't he? Yeah.
Most likely there's an ad blocker script right on your
Oh my God, I can't stand his voice. Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. Oh my God, it's terrible.
That's all he does. That's another. It's probably another
so
2 minutes
bad.
of him.
We got to get that
Just
on,
doing that.
on loop. It's like Robbie repellent.
So that's exactly what it would be. So Dr. Disrespect, trashing Twitch all the time, gets caught watching Twitch. What a loser.
And not only that, but I mean, it hasn't been all, sunflowers or sunshine and rainbows for him over on YouTube. He actually made a big splash. He actually landed a meeting with the head of YouTube by complaining on Twitter about how much he doesn't like being forced to stream on YouTube.
How did you not see him, though? He ran by?
He's upset because he didn't see somebody in a game, and he would like to be able to go back.
A clip feature. It'd be nice to have a clip feature where I can just look at the clip directly from YouTube right now.
Well, maybe you should have got kicked off Twitch. They have that.
Very true.
Or somehow linked to one of my mods. Boom.
Maybe be
There it is.
more
I click on
hate.
it. Boom. We're watching it. But we don't have that feature. I mean, that's a feature night.
I believe it's a feature they're working on.
We're getting
Overwatch League
Quiz.
has the feature, but apparently it's just for them right now, like to test it out.
Well, see, if Dr. Disrespect was a little more respectful, maybe they let him use it too.
all it'll take is an
Maybe.
hour with the two. I mean, you're talking about the Michael Jordan here.
Did he talk about himself?
Yes.
Okay,
Slam
quiz.
dunk.
You're calling himself the
all
Michael
it would
Jordan
take is an
of
hour with me
YouTube.
in a huge, a gigantic boardroom in the CEO office of Google. Maybe that's the complicated part. But it's just take an hour and a whiteboard. And I will give you the multi-billion-dollar ideas. So, and I feel like announcing a subscribers-only chat. And everyone's getting hyped on it. And I'm thinking to myself, what the f***? That's an idea from 2010.
I pictured Dr. Disrespect going into this meeting with all these ideas.
Yeah.
And every single idea is just a screenshot from Twitch with YouTube's logo over it. And he's like, original ideas, copyright, do not steal.
Now, the big question is, when Dr. Disrespect goes to a meeting with the head of Google and YouTube, is he in the vest and
I don't think he
everything?
ever takes it off. Like, it's part of him now, right?
I feel like you got to wear that.
You have
going
to,
in as
yeah.
Dr. Disrespect. I'm not going in as whatever Frederick, whatever my real
Frederick
name
Jamison.
is. Yeah, like you're going in as Dr. Disrespect. You got to have the shades, the mullet, the mustache. You better have the whole get up.
I think it's just crazy. Dr. Disrespect has not been making friends with both YouTube and Twitch. If he keeps it up, where's he gonna go?
Facebook?
Yeah, Zuckerberg may cut the check.
So there's some gamer drama involving everyone's favorite fake doctor, Dr. Disrespect. Now, you never believe what Hex Z had to say about Ninja right after this.
From the high highs
An absolute monster.
to the low lows.
There you go for more.
Who nailed it and who failed it on Checkpoint XP Radio.
We'll get our Nailed It and Failed It this week. Started with our Nailed It. A streamer by the name of Unnamed did the impossible. He finished Grand Theft Auto 5 in only 9 hours. Now, that isn't a record for the fastest speedrun of the game, but he did so without taking a single point of damage. No punch, no stab, no bullets. He actually took him 48 attempts before he successfully finished. Now that is some dedication and some John Wick level gamer skills. Congrats to Unnamed for completing this impossible challenge.
There's our trucks. T, you and me. We take the left one. Other two, drive onto the right truck. Truck on the right, going in. Get in here, man. Come on.
Hey, we can't even afford a f***ing driver to keep the truck on.
Be sure to stick around for the conclusion of Nailed It and Failed It when we find out who failed it this week, coming up a little later in the next hour.
Checkpoint XP, your home for competition. Online at checkpointxp.com.
You're listening to Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and gaming, and also now heard on Rock 102.1 in Tucson, Arizona, and 97.1 The Fan in Columbus, Ohio. Thanks so much for being a part of the Checkpoint XP family. And we are right in the middle of a Checkpoint XP Drama Dome. We just discussed some drama going on with Dr. Disrespect that he got caught up in. Now, Weirdbeard, I believe you said Hex Z had made a statement that involves one of the most popular streamers at the moment, Ninja.
Yeah, so I mean, Hex Z is huge in the Call of Duty world, right? We've talked about him a whole bunch. Owner of the Chicago Optic. He's a former CDL player. Like he is one of, if not the face of Call of Duty League, right? If you're into Call of Duty, you know who Hex Z is. Now, that's where the rub comes, is because if you're just random Joe Schmo off the street, you have no idea who Hex Z is.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was until we started talking about him earlier.
Exactly. And so Optic actually do a weekly podcast every single week. This is a clip from that podcast I found really interesting where Hex Z talked about whether he would ever want to be as famous and popular as Ninja. We'll listen to this and come back and talk about it in a second.
That's a good point, actually.
Bragging rights.
I went to just a general family doctor. He said it was fine. I didn't believe him, though.
How old
said,
was he?
refer me. Too old.
Okay,
Too old
I want to
know.
go to some old dude.
Too old.
Someone who doesn't know who Hex is.
Oh, yeah. No,
You know what I mean?
he had no idea.
Bro,
idea, for sure.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's why I'm saying. Like, that's why I say, like, I think I'm good right here. I don't want to get any more. I just think everybody that knows me here, you guys are it. You know what I mean? You are it for me. I don't want to get any more famous. You know what I mean? That's just not my thing no more.
Yeah.
I don't want to be PewDiePie. I don't want to be Jake Paul. I don't want to be like this mega famous people.
Same.
Like I look at like Ninja. Imagine being Ninja. Like, man, I mean, yeah, it's nice, right? That paper, but
the paper, yeah, for sure.
But the privacy, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I give them mad props. I just couldn't do it, man. I just want to be like every so often, like somebody gives me a what's that, Hex? That's it.
Yep.
This whole invasion of privacy and shit. Like, hey, we fucking love
paparazzi on the news.
Ooh.
Everybody like just judging everything you say. I can't do it.
Oh my God, getting canceled. Imagine me getting canceled for what? What are you gonna? You can't cancel Mexicans. You know what I'm saying, Karma?
I mean, that's the end of his thought train on that.
And you know what? I mean, it's hard to argue with that. You know, if privacy is a big thing that you value, then yeah, you wouldn't want to be Ninja level. As for the not wanting to get canceled by stuff, just don't be a and
That's
I
true.
think it should be fine.
But I think he has a point. Like, Ninja has that crossover every single person at one point. I mean, he was doing the floss for the countdown for the New Year's Eve celebration.
that nobody did with him.
But he still was invited to do that. Hex
Sure.
Z is not getting invited to do that.
No.
James, if you were given the opportunity, like I could give you a magic pill. You could either be really well known within esports, but then it like ends there, or you could be like super celebrity megastar. Which path are you taking here?
So the esports, I would continue on as like having a lifelong career, making ends meet.
Yeah, you're super well known in esports, but like if like my dad would have no idea who you are.
Or I could have like a kind of a 15 to 20 minutes of fame as like the biggest.
The biggest.
I honestly think I would go the same route as Hex Z. As long as I can make an honest living, I'm taking care of my family, I'm putting food on the table, and I'm doing something that's enjoyable. Like, I'd rather deal with that than sometimes when you get put up on that level like that, there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of things, a lot of eyeballs on you, and a lot of expectations that go along with it that I might not want to live up to.
Well, I think I'm not saying Ninja gets a bad rap. I think that Ninja has a lot of things that aren't great about him magnified because he's under
so many people watching.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm not a terrible, horrible person, but if you were to put me under a microscope, I feel like certain parts of me that maybe aren't that great.
100%. It'd be just the same as Robbie would give a different analysis of Weird Beard than what I would give of Weird Beard.
Yes.
And I feel like Robbie's might be a little more mean.
I mean, look, I'm not the one. I'm not the one who ignored my squad mate in Apex all weekend long.
I did for my parents, but Robbie, are you becoming Ninja levels, or are you going to stick to esports?
I think that I could be all right at Ninja levels because I'm not going to say things that are going to get me in trouble all the time. And even if somebody does come at me sideways with some weird hate or whatever, I think I have thick enough skin to just let it roll off my back.
See,
I'm getting that paper.
I would want to be just paid. I don't even care.
Yeah, give me that money.
Which one is better? I will do it for the money. I'll be canceled for the money. I don't care. Like, you want to cancel me and have me go sit on a mansion somewhere in the middle of nowhere? Sure. Sign me up. I'll do that anytime you want.
Coming up, what video game is bringing Rambo and John McClane to your screen? Stay tuned to find out, because first, we are just weeks away from E3. We'll let you know what to watch, where to find it, plus give you our own predictions for the big announcements. Find out what's going on with E3 when Checkpoint XP returns.
Checkpoint XP, where sandbox, tank, and camping all have different meanings. With James, Robbie, and Weird Beard.
Welcome back. I'm James Campbell, along with Robbie Landis and someone who stumbled upon some Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie news. while surfing the U.S. copyright registration website. It's Weirdbeard.
The things you find when you really are dedicated to trying to find it. I found a synopsis for Sonic 2. Ooh. And not only are your wildest tales kind of fantasies confirmed there, but Knuckles is also confirmed to be in Sonic 2.
Which we knew.
Yeah, I know, but it's like official. It's on paper. It's like
we saw him in pictures.
It doesn't matter.
It's
like
officially filed with the U.S. copyright registration.
You could say that last movie had Tails in it when he was in it for technically 15 seconds. This is now like Knuckles is in it. Like he's in it.
More importantly, Chaos Emerald confirmation.
Even better.
Last year, COVID-19 shut down most industries, and the Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, was one of the conventions that was canceled completely. This year, they're coming back as a digital-only event. Now, not much is known about what we will be able to see there, but Weirdbeard, I believe you know a little bit about what we can expect.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a lot easier to go down some of the things that we can't expect yet out of E3.
For example, anything Sony.
Yeah, Sony's still bailing on E3.
I mean, technically, they will still have their showcase, but it's just not affiliated with E3. They just sort of do it on their own.
One of the other bigger things that I saw was indie darling Hollow Knight. The follow-up is called Hollow Knight Silksong. They made an announcement saying for sure, hey, we are not going to be saying anything at E3 about Hollow Knight Silksong. Still gonna have to wait 500 million years for your heart to be happy ever again. You also see a lot of these confirmation of, some of these bigger game studios are saying that all they're doing is bringing out their remasters. So E3, as it looks right now, is not going to be that like property heavy platform, right? Like E3s in the past, you would go to E3 to find out what your Christmas shopping list
what the
was.
big news is gonna be.
Yeah, it was all like, here's the stuff that you can only find here, and once they drop it, pre-orders are here, and you go and get it for Christmas. It's seeming more and more like E3, especially this year of all years, is just kind of like, here's some cool stuff we've done.
You know, it makes sense in the light of the pandemic, right? So many things have been pushed back, so many things have been delayed that, like, I get it. But at the same time, we are in the first year of a new console generation, and you don't have anything to hype people up about? Like,
it is strange. I mean, I know, again, COVID-19, there's shortages on everything, labor, computer chips, you name it, there's a shortage on it, but you'd still think there'd be something to try to get the gamers excited for, especially with something you can do while dealing with some of the issues COVID has brought up.
Yeah, and especially like what they're doing is they're trying to, I think, tamp down Cyberpunk 2077 Part 2, meaning like...
I don't think so.
No, I'm saying they just don't want to announce these games, right? Because it used to be at E3, you could announce a game that was 5 years away, 6 years away. It's okay, it'll eventually get here. Now it's like, unless there is a playable copy in people's hands, I don't think games companies are like excited to promote.
Hard disagree, Weirdbeard. That would mean that they are learning their lesson, and I think from No Man's Sky to Fallout 76 to Cyberpunk, I don't think that's the case. We will have whatever the next Cyberpunk debacle is, because when it comes to it, I think those above the developers, you know, they're too set in their ways of how things are supposed to go. They want to get pre-orders. They want to make hype, and talking about their games too soon is the way that they do that. So I don't think it's the last we've seen of it.
And one of the other crazier things, too, is like Nintendo is going to be at E3 this year, right?
Really?
Super cool. Awesome.
Are they typically at E3?
They are.
They are.
Okay.
But with all the success that they've had of the Nintendo Directs over the past year, do you really think that they're going to announce Breath of the Wild 2 at E3?
I mean, here's the thing.
No.
It's still going to be at a Nintendo Direct. E3 is more just like an umbrella term at this point than anything else.
Is this appointment viewing for you, James? Are you somebody who's still going out of his way to maybe check this out?
Probably not. Like, I never really went far out of my way before. I would check
Why
out
does James need to check it out when we're just going to tell him the good parts of it,
Thank
right?
you, Robbie.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that.
It's appointment viewing for at least one of us.
Yeah. All I got to do is write down the notes that you guys tell me.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're listening to Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and gaming. Now, we're a week away from the start of a new month, and that means tons of new games. It's time to let you know what's releasing and when, so you don't miss out. Robbie, what do we have to look forward to in the month of June?
Quite a bit's coming out here. In fact, I think this first one is going to light up for both you and Weirdbeard. The Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, June 1st.
Okay, so I've seen this. It's very hard. It's like,
well, the original was hard,
but this is like unfairly extreme. Like, this is not a casual, hey, I'm gonna pick this up and like, oh, we'll play around with it a little bit. Like, no, this is brutal.
It's gonna make me feel like an inadequate gamer, much like it made me feel when I was like 8.
Exactly.
Great.
Yep. Also on June 1st, we're actually getting 2 pretty big, massively multiplayer online game expansions. The Elder Scrolls Online is getting Gates of Oblivion, and World of Warcraft is getting Burning Crusade Classic. Again, Burning Crusade came out years and years and years ago, and now they're re-releasing it for the Classic server so people can just buy something that they've already played. Not be bitter about that at all. Also on
a little bit.
June 10th, I want to talk about something else I'm bitter about. For the PlayStation 5 only, the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is a little bit of sort of like an in-between side story for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was released on the PS4 and PS5. So if you were one of the 5 people who have a PlayStation 5, congratulations, you get to play through that.
So James, I know you probably aren't familiar with the Kingdom Hearts series, but that's exactly what's happening to Final Fantasy. And that is
which I called years ago.
Kingdom Hearts is known for being a series that started off like pretty solid, and people were like, oh, I really like this. But then it had 500 million spin-offs that just like nobody cared about and were convoluted and turned into like, when you try to explain anime to like other people and they're just looking at you like, what the hell are you talking about? That's what it feels like this Final Fantasy VII Remake is turning into.
Well, it sounds like Final Fantasy VII could be in for some trouble.
The day after, on June 11th, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart.
Yes.
Weird, but you're going to be able to find yourself a PS5 before this drops?
I'll murder somebody. I don't even care.
Okay, wow.
Put it on tape. Listen, after playing Crash Bandicoot, I am fully reinvested in platformers. Platformers are just good. It's good, clean fun. Ratchet & Clank not only has where you can pick up a million different bolts and things like that.
I will murder someone.
But
good, clean fun.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Weird Beard's coming for your PS5.
That's right. On June 22nd, for PlayStation 4, 5, the Xbox One XS, and PC, we have Dark Alliance, which seems to be a co-op hack and slash set in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. So this looks like it'll be pretty fun. And then finally on June 25th for the Switch, Mario Golf Super Rush.
Yes! 4! It looks so good. I don't care. It's like, the Battle Royale stuff is like cutesy or whatever, but like I am so invested in Mario Golf.
There's gonna be a Mario Golf Battle Royale?
You get to play on the course with them. So like
you hit your ball, then you like run up to find where it is, and you just basically
like a crazy golf dash?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like each character has a different super dash, and they have abilities and stuff like that to be able to go and play golf. And I will say,
you are such a nerd.
The Mario Golf game, one of the originals that I got, was an amazing RPG, and it probably formed my terrible taste in gaming for as long as I've lived. So
Mario Golf RPG?
Yes, I will bring you into the light, James. You're gonna come on this adventure with me.
Wow. I can't wait. Let me grab a caddy and I'll join you on the front 9. A new announcement from Activision Blizzard may change the face of Overwatch League. Is it a good change or a bad change? Robbie Landis, our Checkpoint XP Overwatch expert, will fill us in on that. But first, Call of Duty Warzone is making a big play on nostalgia and taking us back to the good old days of the 80s with some of the greatest action stars in Hollywood history. How are they doing it? We'll let you know when Checkpoint XP returns.
Hey, this is Callie with the Checkpoint XP Save the Date calendar, letting you know about the latest esports competitions to look forward to in the coming weeks. The League of Legends Summer Split is scheduled to kick off on Friday, June the 4th, and run through the end of August. Winning there will be the next step in qualifying for the World Championships. The second Valorant Championship Tour Masters tournament will be held at the end of May. It'll be held in Reykjavik, Iceland, and is set to kick off on May 24th and run through the 30th. The next major Overwatch tournament will be the June Joust. Teams are vying for seeding right now, and the tournament will be held June 6th through the 13th. In professional Counter-Strike, all eyes are turning towards IEM Summer. The $250,000 tournament will be held in Europe and welcomes 16 of the world's best to compete. That tournament runs from June 3rd through the 13th. Valve has announced the return of the International this year. The 10th iteration of the event will take place in August and will once again break the record for the largest prize pool in all of esports, with over $40 million on the line. That's it for the Checkpoint XP Save the Date calendar. And remember, for all the latest in the world of esports, check out our website. You can check that out over at checkpointxp.com.
Checkpoint XP.
Get in the game.
What are we witnessing?
The #1 esports and video game radio show, Checkpoint XP, where gaming lives.
Welcome back. You're listening to Mr. Platinum, Robbie Landis, Weird Beard, and someone who is strongly considering a return to the Call of Duty Warzone. Me, James Campbell.
No way! Really?
It would be the first time in how long?
Months.
What? Why'd you leave Warzone to begin with?
Well, because I was getting my butt kicked left and right, and it wasn't worth the time waiting to download and having to blow out all my other games from my PS4 in order to accommodate.
Oh, that's what it really came down to. Every time you'd want to play, you'd have to like re-download it.
Yeah, like I have to pick between my kids. Which kid do I keep? My son or my daughter?
Why don't you play it on PC then, and then just plug your controller in?
Because I never get the controller to work. So there's too many issues with me and the PC and the controller. So
all right. Well, let's talk about then what's bringing you back. Why have you decided to maybe go through all the trouble of re-downloading?
One name. John effin' McClane.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother trucker.
Yeah. Or Mr. Falcon.
So Call of Duty's newest season called Reloaded seems to be an ode to action heroes. You can play as, like you said, John McClane, as well as Rambo. I feel like this happens quite a bit in gaming, where they'll take famous culture icons and put them in there. Mortal Kombat in the past has featured Jason, Freddy Krueger, that kind of cool stuff. I don't think that personally just skins would get me back in or would get me to try it out.
What if I told you John McClane's got catchphrases?
I mean that's cool, but what actually excites me the most, what I think is really, really interesting about this, is they actually modeled a piece of the map after Nakatomi Plaza.
Sweet.
And you can actually go into the building, and there are like 5 different floors modeled after scenes from the movie. So you can actually fight it out in Nakatomi Plaza.
You think they'll have that scene where the guy was like hanging, but then he comes back and he unhooks himself at the end?
All right, first of all, if you can't kick somebody out of a window...
Yeah, off the top.
Come on. That has to be added in there.
Create that scene.
Yeah, putting little cool things like that. That's actually really, really cool. I'm really excited about that.
I think this meshes really well. Like, I don't know. I hate nostalgia bait stuff. I hate just recycling the same things. And now this is like the 3rd game that Rambo's been in, because he was in Mortal Kombat.
He was in a Mortal Kombat. This fits better. I know what you're saying. Like I know a lot of people used to complain about the Mortal Kombat stuff, but putting horror serial killers in Mortal Kombat, that was on brand. Putting Rambo and John McClane into Call of Duty,
absolutely,
that's on brand.
And it's funny though, because you remember the first Rambo movie, he killed he was against killing people, right? He was supposed to be, but then the last ones are just him with chainsaws strapped to his arms.
They realize the more death, the more blood, the more money.
Action movies know what they are now.
I like it though. Listen, it may not be amazing, and it's for sure not going to convert me into hey, every day we're gonna play Call of Duty.
We're not playing Warzone like we play Apex.
No, but I would be interested in at least experiencing it. Fortnite does a really good job with this, right? Where sometimes they put a few things in the game. It doesn't change the game fundamentally. The issues I have with Fortnite are still there, but I'm like, oh God, I could be a golden kitty cat for
Let me ask you this. Did they get Stallone to do the Rambo voices, or
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, there he is, to do John McClane's voices?
That I'm not sure on. I don't know if they have any of the actual people involved. I feel like they probably don't.
Because
cost a bit too much.
Probably, but if you remember, Negan was put into a fighting game. It's escaping me now exactly which one it was. But they put Negan in a fighting game, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan actually came and did the voices for him.
Well, Jeffrey Dean Morgan seems like the type of guy that would do that just because he thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone are going to need a bit more incentive.
Probably.
Gaming on a budget? We've got a game for free.
$3.99.
Checkpoint XP's free game of the week.
Checkpoint XP has you covered with the free game of the week. This week's free game is Knockout City.
Now a little bit of
asterisks
here. Yes, Knockout City. It's only a limited time free trial. This game just came out. Weird We're gonna let Weird Beard just go off the chain here in a minute.
Look how excited he is.
And talk about it.
You can't wait to talk about it.
But you can download a free trial up till May 31st, I believe, is the last day. Once May 31st hits, you will have to buy it if you want to play it. But up until then, if you want to try it out, see if it's the game for you, now's the time to do it. Take it away.
Look, it's simple. Corgan want new weapon. In Knockout City, I'm like a kung fu master. I can catch bullets. Woo! Come get some. Got you. Princess, here.
Let's find out what sound your face makes.
Roger that. Heads up, Your Highness.
Eat this! Lost it. Can't believe we're losing to a bunch of dairy farmers.
I gotta control my excitement on this. Knockout City is a 3v3 dodgeball game.
Dodgeball.
And it's not just dodgeball like you're on each side of a tennis court or whatever, throwing balls at each other. It's in all these giant, like, cityscape, cool arenas and everything like that. You have some cool things where you don't just throw the ball. You can throw the ball in specific ways. You can fake an opponent out. You can catch balls people throw at you.
Is it about like because in dodgeball you have to hit people to knock them out? Is it that, or are you trying to like score somewhere?
So you have two health points, right? So you can get hit twice before you're like knocked out. You respawn and come back, but it gives a point to the other team. So it's like the first team to 10 points, right, is the winner. And one of the other cool things is that you can even pick up your teammates and throw them like a ball at the other people.
So if you hit the opponent with one of your teammates, it counts as a hit?
Yes.
Nice.
And
so it's not just the one ball that you have to worry about.
No, it's balls all over the entire space. There's special balls, like one, if you throw it at somebody and hit them with it, it locks them in a cage and they're trapped as a ball. Or like there's another one that's a moon ball, and if you hit them, they like float with no gravity. Like, it's a lot of fun. It's inventive. It's really, really fun. I think it's going to be cool because they have even, like, a ranked circuit for it.
Really?
So you can go and play ranked 3v3 dodgeball.
Do I smell a future esport?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Not everything needs to be an esport, James.
It's definitely not going to be game of the year.
Do you think this has staying power?
It could, like, especially if they continue to, because it has, like, aspects of Fortnite to it, right?
Sure.
So I've played both the alpha and the beta test where they opened it up to like closed groups before. And one of the big things is that you can customize your character, right? So like you can customize what gear they have on, their emotes, you can customize all this different stuff, and you either buy it in the shop or unlock it by beating and winning matches and you know, yada, yada,
Do they
yada.
have like season passes and
I'm
stuff?
assuming that's exactly what they're going to do. So does it have staying power? Yes. They probably are going to be able to add new maps, new balls, new rules, new modes. But as it's launching, like what you can pick up today, it's a smaller size game, right? There's only a couple of maps. There's a couple of special balls. Once you play it for a few hours, it's fun. But where it really becomes fun is when you play with friends. Like I don't want to play against you, James, but it's a lot easier when I'm like, hey, pass me the ball. Oh, over here. You know, you're throwing it to each other and whatnot. Like it takes more than just like hold the WQ and hit the button. Like to actually grab the balls as they come in takes real timing, especially when they can fake you out and whatnot. And if you fake and then you like stunt, you can't grab immediately again. You just get the adrenaline rush of nailing somebody with it.
Awesome. I would love to relive my glory years of playing elementary school dodgeball. I think I might have to give this one a try.
Now, the last question. Out of the Checkpoint XP crew here, the three of us, who gets selected last in a real-life game of dodgeball? Just us.
Just
the three of us?
I'd take James over you, Weird Beard.
I figured I was going to be picked last, to be honest.
I would pick James.
You'd pick me?
Yeah, I'd pick you too, James.
Hey, you guys would pick me?
Yeah.
So I got to pick between one of you?
Yeah,
you do.
I got to pick between Robbie or Weird Beard?
Yep.
Ooh. Coming up, did Activision Blizzard make a change to Overwatch that will cause players to lose their jobs and change the esport forever? We'll let you know when Checkpoint XP returns.
The latest esports and gaming news. Checkpoint XP Daily has got you covered. Find it online at checkpointxp.com. Get in the game.
Step into the secret lair of the Great Landis and Professor Awesome on The Other Identity. Join in for the story of the century as Robbie Landis and Marvel alumni Ben Morris team up to bring you the best and worst comic book opinions. Not sure what the best place is to jump into a new series? Check out the Essentials episodes for heroes like Black Panther and the Teen Titans. Discover a whole new world of superheroes and comics on The Other Identity. Download at checkpointxp.com or download from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts.
Live from the Checkpoint XP studios.
He's about to pull off the Alamo. He's unbelievable. Nico is on fire. Oh my goodness, how does he do this?
On radio's #1 show for esports and competition, Checkpoint XP Radio, a Beasley esports product.
Welcome back and listening to me, James Campbell, Weird Beard, and someone who is terrified for pro Overwatch tank players after the recent Overwatch 2 announcements, Mr. Platinum, Robbie Landis.
Yeah, we got a 2-hour stream showing off the competitive player versus player mode, which everyone is most obviously familiar with when it comes to Overwatch. But Overwatch 2 is also going to feature a robust single player versus environment mode. This one was all about the PvP, and what was really interesting to look at, because this is what's going to affect the future of competitive Overwatch. One of the interesting things that I think a lot of people don't remember, maybe don't realize, is that despite being called Overwatch 2, this is more just like a big improvement or add-on to the original game. And Blizzard has said that if you don't play, or if you don't want to buy into Overwatch 2, you like the original game, you still want to keep playing Overwatch, that you still can, and they don't want to split those player bases up. So again, apparently this could change at any point, allegedly, but what they've said is that, James, if you're still playing Overwatch 1, Weirdbeard and I are playing Overwatch 2, we can still be queued together into the same game and lobby. So things like new maps or new characters will be shared by both.
But if I want to play that new player versus environment mode,
you would have to get Overwatch 2, yes.
Okay.
But that means that whatever changes they make in Overwatch 2 as far as balance or design changes go, those will have to affect Overwatch 1 as well. And the biggest one that has everyone's attention, that is everyone talking here, is they are going to be reducing the team size from 6 to 5.
Oh, wow.
They are going to take out one of the tank positions, often called the off tank, because you're not the main one. And just to, clear up some of the lingo here, the tank is usually sort of the front of your defense, if you will. It's their job.
Like the first fighter in.
It's like a linebacker in football.
You want to be up in there sort of creating space so that your DPS and your healer characters have more room to sort of maneuver and operate around.
What does the DPS player, what does that mean?
Damage. So you're the guy getting the kills.
Okay, so
he's the quarterback almost.
It'd be okay. So if this is all defense, right? These tanks are like your linebackers. The DPS are like cornerbacks, right? They're fast, they're agile, they're around there to make the big plays.
It's not the perfect 1-to-1 ratio, because when you're in a game, defense and offense is happening at the same time. But by removing this position, this would be more like if suddenly you decide, you know what, in baseball, let's get rid of the third base.
Ooh, I want my third baseman.
Third base doesn't exist anymore, right? So obviously there's still going to be a need for tank players, but at worst, you have just eliminated 15% of all like players on a roster. Now they might just go sit on the bench now. Maybe they'll find a way to
reserve
to get exactly right. But at the best, you've doubled the competition that you have to be that starter in that position now. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who are, kind of upset about it, who are worried about it. We're not sure what this is going to look like. We still have a few years probably before this game is done and before it's implemented. So at the very least,
still a lot of time before it's actually still released.
Right. We still don't have a release date for it. So tank players do have plenty of time now to sort of figure out what their future maybe looks like. As far as just the game goes, like the pro scene aside, this will probably be a fine change for the game, right? In fact, for the viewer, by taking out an entire position, it will be a little bit easier. Esports is still a pretty complex thing to watch, but it should be a little bit easier to follow in some cases. But, don't take our words for it. We actually have here on the line the general manager of the Houston Outlaws from the Overwatch League. So, cool, Matt. I thought we'd bring in a professional here, get some insider info, the big 5v5 change for Overwatch. What were some of your initial thoughts when this first started making the rounds?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was kind of rumored that it could happen, but it took us all by surprise at the end of the day. Even internally, like we didn't know about it, so they did a good job keeping that a secret. But I've been reading community reaction about it, and it feels like everyone's kind of having this knee-jerk reaction, like it's going to be terrible or like the sky is falling. But I really don't feel that way. To me, a big complaint I've seen over the years with the game is really just that it's stagnated. Meta stagnated, patch cycles slow, whatever it may be. And I feel like that's exactly what the game needs to breathe like new life into it, some fundamental changes. So new game modes, new team size. Like I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air to play.
Now, one of the big things that, kind of unfortunately fell apart last year was the loss of homestands, being able to play in front of live crowds and everything like that. Is this the kind of change that you think is going to get the Overwatch and the professional Overwatch community invested back into the game? Or is this more just kind of stuff that the pros and the teams have to just sort of adjust to stay afloat?
It's Overwatch 2, and that's like the name. It's always going to bring people back. You know, not that Overwatch is in a terrible place or anything. I'm not trying to give that impression, but like people have been waiting for, you know, the next installment. And it feels like nowadays attention spans are so short. I mean, mine included. Like you need a new game every year, you know, like Call of Duty model or something. And so whenever a new game comes out, it always brings this like huge resurgence of players. Blizzard's brand recognition is like still super strong. So I think we're going to see a big like influx of players and coming back to the game.
So Robbie, my big thing is, what do you think this changes? Where, obviously outside of just how the players are, you know, doing it, from a viewer, from a like how the actual game works. What does this do? Why did they do this?
There's probably a lot of reasons, from game development to balancing. Despite what some people might have you believe, I don't think that they made this change specifically for the Overwatch League. In fact, again, I think that it hurts it because there are going to be some people who are out some jobs. But in the long run, just looking at the game itself, it is going to simplify it a little bit. You know, only having one tank position now will lead to shorter team fights. It will lead to less clutter being on the screen, both when you're playing as well as when you're watching. So I do think that in the long run, a lot of the changes that Blizzard has made in the past few years, even just in Overwatch 1, like introducing hero pools, for example, I think that they do more or less will be better for the game in the long run.
Now, do you think we might see some of these players who typically play as this tank position that's being removed step up their game a little bit and take the lead and be the lead tank?
If they want to keep their job, they're going to have to. Now, what's interesting about this is because you have two types of tanks in this game. You have main tanks and off tanks, and not just position, but the heroes that they play fall into those two categories. In order for the off tanks to now suddenly, you know, they want people to keep playing them, all tanks are going to have to be redesigned so they can fill that role. So even your main tank players now who aren't having their role taken out of their game, they're probably going to have to relearn these characters as well. So whether that means that players, you know, try to keep being a tank, or maybe now they're like, you know what, maybe I want to be a healer instead. You know, so they start learning a new role. Or at the very least, maybe everybody will just go to Valorant. Who knows?
Well, do you foresee, so some of the characters that are tanks right now, do you see those characters being reworked? Or do you
they
see
will
Overwatch
have to be reworked.
In new characters,
yes,
like new heroes all
both
together?
Yeah, they're constantly bringing in new heroes, but they will have to rework these heroes so they don't get left by the wayside.
Interesting. Excited to see what changes this will cause in the long run.
From the high highs, an absolute monster, to the low lows. There you go for more. Who nailed it and who failed it on Checkpoint XP Radio.
People who play chess are weird, and sometimes that weirdness is okay and doesn't impact your ability to be a normal human being. But then there are other times where people are so weird that crosses over into you're just a jerk territory. And that's where we find Moke, a grandmaster in chess who regularly live streams not only his chess games, but also when he's out live at tournaments that are happening. And that's where we get this week's clip, in which Moke argued against having to pay a whole $5 entry fee that went to a charity fund in order to play a game of chess. Hear him argue against having to donate to a charity because he's too good at the game of chess.
100 something.
Okay, what's the entry fee?
$10.
Is it free for GMs?
No.
GMs have the entry fee.
I don't care.
I can't play, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a grandmaster.
And you're not willing to play? There's internet.
Grandmasters don't pay entry fee, man. That's a thing.
I'll give you a discount. I'll give you 50% discount. But you gotta donate to the fucking club, man.
My 8 years of work to grandmaster means nothing then.
Oh, it means something.
Well, it should mean a free entry, because that's what every tournament organizer does.
For
but it's okay. I respect it. I'm not trying to be.
We're hustling here. Man.
You know, but grandmasters should always get free entry.
Okay, but half the proceeds are donated to charity. You're not a generous person here?
I didn't know it was charity, but still, you know, it's just a matter of respect. But you know, it's okay. Have a good day.
Loser.
Well, look, Moke, I don't know you, but you just lost my respect for not wanting to pay $5 to charity!
Dude, how many times do you think that guy reminds everybody he's a chess grandmaster?
Oh, you know every time. He would seriously sit there and come out of the bathroom and be like, oh yeah, by the way, in case everybody forgot, I'm a grandmaster in chess.
Sorry, I ordered this burger with no pickles. I'm a grandmaster, so I just, you know, maybe you could take it back and bring me, like, oh my gosh, what a loser.
Wow, what a sad, sad individual. So that's our fail for the week. Be sure to tune in next week for our Nailed It and Failed.
Get in the game.
What are we witnessing?
The #1 esports and video game radio show, Checkpoint XP, where gaming lives.
You're listening to Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and gaming. This past week, we had the rematch that may be heard around the world. Weirdbeard, what happened between Ninjas in Pajamas and Anonymous?
So we touched on this a little bit last week because it hadn't have happened yet. So Ninjas in Pajamas is a CSGO team. They played Anonymous, another CSGO team, and they lost. And afterwards went to Flashpoint, which is like the organized
the league, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And they complained, and they were like, "Hey, we had all kinds of lag, and there was packet loss, and there was just like things that bothered us." And they eventually complained enough that they forced Flashpoint into making this rematch happen. Guess who won that rematch?
Was it Ninjas in Pajamas?
Ninjas in Pajamas, the team that originally lost on the way around.
Oh, this is such a bad precedent to play because right now, in the age of COVID, even coming, into post-COVID, there's still a lot of esports that are happening, that isn't live in person. You're not playing on LAN, so everyone's having to deal with ping and lag. And the fact that someone actually got them to redo it and now they won. If I was any team that lost and I wasn't on LAN, I'd be pushing for the same thing now.
Weirdbeard has a game that has us asking, what was gaming like the last time cicadas hatched?
What?
Yes. Find out what all the craziness is about when Checkpoint XP returns.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and gaming. Noobs teased, but welcome. With James, Robbie, and Weirdbeard.
Welcome back. I'm James Campbell. With me is Robbie Landis, as well as someone who has been glued to this Google notifications for updates on the new Time Splitter sequel, Weirdbeard.
I'm telling you, Robbie tagged me in this I think it was on earlier.
It was over the weekend somewhere. Yeah.
Sometime I remember seeing this, and it just. Please, if I've done anything I will give all of my karmic balance that I still have left in this life.
I remember when it was announced that Deep Silver had bought Free Radical, which is the development studio that originally made the Time. I actually didn't even realize they were still around. But they basically have the Time Splitters IP now, and they're finally talking about remaking it. I'm here for it. I'll play with you.
Just give it to me.
You'll probably stand me up, but I'm still here.
I just need it in my veins right now.
The Midwest is about to be overrun with Brood X as cicadas start to hatch and crawl out of the ground after 17 years. We are being joined by Checkpoint XP producer Callie to help us play this game. Weirdbeard has us guessing what gaming was like nearly 2 decades ago, kind of in celebration.
These cicadas in the eastern United States spend 17 whole years below ground, sucking sap from tree roots. And then, within a few days, a whole population emerges. There may be millions of them in a single acre of land.
So I gotta tell you, I was super curious, what this was a lead into.
Weirdbeard, what?
Yeah. So what we're gonna be doing today is I'm going to be taking you back in the Weirdbeard time machine to 17 years ago.
I don't want to get in
to 2004.
2004, and I'm gonna ask you questions about gaming in 2004. And
I hope your time machine is in better shape than your car.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even that. All right, James, are you ready to answer your first question about gaming in 2004?
Yes.
All right, James, your first question is, on May 11th in 2004, Nintendo officially announces its Revolution, later named the blank console.
2004, is it the Wii U console?
Do we get to steal if he's wrong?
No, I'm sorry, James. That is incorrect. It's just the Wii.
It's just the Wii, James. You were so close. You were so close.
I swear I was playing the Wii in 2004. They just announced it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever.
You were still playing GameCube.
Wowie. I was playing GameCube.
Callie, your question.
Yeah. 2004. Okay.
2004, announced in November, Blank and Blank are officially released on PC around the world, bringing in a new era for the first-person shooter genre of video games with advanced graphics and physics.
Blank and Blank?
Correct.
Even I'm kind of...
Both games were released by the same company.
Oh, it's two different games.
I was thinking like Command and Conquer or something.
It's two different games released at the same time.
And they're by the same company?
Yes.
Half-Life? 2, and Team Fortress 2?
You're so close. Counter-Strike Source and Half-Life 2 were announced.
Wow.
I want a half point.
All right, I'll give you a half a point, but if I lose by that half a point, I'm taking it away.
Of course he is.
So Robbie Landis special right there. All right, up next, Robbie.
Yeah.
December 13th, 2004. Blank purchases a 5-year exclusive agreement for the rights to the NFL, which includes NFL teams, stadiums, and players for use in EA's upcoming football video games.
Oh boy,
Even I know.
Well, I
this
would have
one.
thought it would have been EA.
I was gonna say it's got to be Madden, right?
I don't think so.
You are correct.
All right.
Did you ever play a Madden game without the licensing? It was the worst.
I remember like back when it was just what was it called in like '95? Blitz, NFL Blitz.
Oh, they didn't have the licensing, did they?
No, I don't think so.
But the Madden without the licensing was horrible.
All right, James, your next question. Right now, we're taking people back to the year of 2004, asking you questions about what video gaming was like back then, since that's the last time the cicadas came out of the ground and terrorized this entire country. James, your question is, blank is released, restarting the Breakthrough franchise and featured complex graphics such as unified lighting and shadowing, real-time fully dynamic per pixel lighting, and stencil shadowing. The game became id Software's best-selling game to date.
id Software, crap. I feel like they do like Doom or like Wolfenstein, or I'm thinking, actually, did they do GoldenEye?
I'm helping you, Zero. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you, Rareware did GoldenEye.
Okay, so it's not GoldenEye. I don't know. I'll say Doom 64.
So close. Doom 3 is actually released.
Oh, it
in
was one of the
2004.
Dooms, though.
James, you were right that it was id Software. I'm like, that's a nice reach. That's good.
All right.
Yeah, Doom 64 must have been like 98 or something like that.
Callie, January 20th. Wired's Vaporware Awards gives its first Lifetime Achievement Award to recurring winner blank.
Wired's Vaporware Awards, huh?
Yeah. Remember, this is 2004. Vaporware isn't like talking about old stuff now. Vaporware is the future.
Yeah.
And it's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
They probably gave it someone stupid like Sega or something like that. I think they gave it to Sega.
They gave their first Lifetime Achievement Award to Duke Nukem Forever, which went on to win another 3 times.
Wow. Hail to the king,
Forever,
baby.
A game which famously was in production hell for over a decade.
Yes.
Finally came out and was utter trash.
It was absolutely
Lifetime Achievement
terrible.
Award, though.
Yeah, but it did win the Lifetime Achievement Award. Just like Bubsy won PSX's Golden Gamer Award.
All right, up next, Robbie,
Yeah.
are you ready for your question
as ready
in the
as I'm
time
gonna
machine?
be.
All right. March was a very busy month in 2004 for video game releases. Alongside Counter-Strike Condition Zero, Far Cry, Mission Impossible, Operation Surma, Sonic Heroes, and All-Star Baseball 5, this was one of the all-time highest-selling games of the year and happens to feature in one of your favorite series. What game is it?
Oh man, I'm not sure if that was right at the dawn of some big time MMOs, so it's gonna be one of 2. Released in March
of 2004. So you know it's not 11 because that's 3 years before.
Was that World of Warcraft?
Robbie, unfortunately, it was Final Fantasy XI that was announced in 2004.
You know what? That's a little bit of a
I believe that came out in 2001.
There's a little bit of a trick question there because it technically came out
All right,
earlier
enough
than
with
that
the lawyer speak. Enough with the lawyer speak. On to my question.
In
On to my
Japan,
question.
that's probably when we got it.
So Robbie still has no points, right?
I have 1 point.
Oh, yeah,
I got my Madden question ready.
Oh, that's
1 point. James, we're going to go around for the final speed round. I'm going to give you a video game. You have to tell me out of the top 10, what number is it as far as the best-selling games of 2004, right?
Oh, man. Okay.
James, Spider-Man 2 for the PS2. On a scale of 1 to 10, where does it rank as the best-selling game of 2004?
Spider-Man 2,
2004.
2004 is probably fairly popular. I hope if it's in top 10. I mean, I know I was in love with the Tobey Maguire movies, so I'm going to say number 3.
Unfortunately, it is number 8. Moving on, Callie. Need for Speed Underground 2 on the PS2.
It's a racing game. It probably did okay. I'd say probably 9.
Unfortunately, number 5 for the best selling in 2004. And last, Robbie.
Yep.
I need you to tell me Halo Combat Evolved on the Xbox. Where did it land?
It was probably number 1.
Unfortunately, with Halo 2 coming in at second, Halo Combat Evolved was at number 9 in the year 2004.
Wow, that's really low for a Halo game.
I have no idea on the points. Who's our winner for today?
James coming in third with 0. Callie coming in second with a half a point. And me, the winner, as usual.
You had to give him the Madden
point.
question, didn't you, Weird Beard?
I'm sorry. I thought he would just... Football, I thought, would shut him right down.
Oh, but I actually got that one right.
Madden 98, I will have you know.
And technically, I feel like I got both my questions right. But congratulations to Robbie. The champion returns, reclaimed his crown, and now my mission to dethrone him begins yet again.
You're the Sisyphus of losing.
I am.
Jesus.
You're listening to Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and video games. We've started to see more and more video game adaptations pop up, and slowly but surely, some of them are starting to get better. The Witcher was a huge hit in early 2020. Sonic found an audience as well. Now it seems that Netflix is taking the next step and propping up video game media. Robbie, what is Netflix doing now, and will it help make video game adaptations better?
Oh, I sure hope so. We're not 100% sure exactly what their plans are, but it looks like Netflix is looking to hire an executive from the video game industry. They want a veteran executive who basically knows the ins and outs of it.
That's smart.
I don't think that it could hurt them, but there's one of two ways that they could go with this. First of all, we know that not only have they dabbled recently in, releasing, content such as The Witcher or Castlevania, the Dota animes, but it seems like the industry, like Hollywood in general, is kind of really going hard now towards video game adaptations. But in the past, Netflix has actually put out some gaming-related content as well. There have been a few Stranger Things video games. They did, what was it, Bandersnatch?
Yep.
Where viewers could, collectively watch together and sort of, choose how they wanted it to, sort of end or to go.
Oh, like
so
when you could choose. I remember watching
like
that.
a choose your own adventure sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it, nothing concrete here, but I do think that bringing someone in from the video game industry, and I think it depends, right? If you're just taking someone from up near the top, they're probably pretty checked out of, what actual gamers think and feel. I don't know that they're necessarily going to help you, find a good groove. But personally, I think that Netflix has been doing pretty decent as far as their adaptations go. So bringing in a video game executive, I don't think it's going to hurt in any way.
And more than that, who cares? Like, video games are the wave of the future. We've talked on the show. Gen Z prefers video games over movies and TV right now. If you want to win, this is how you win. And Netflix has to see that. Like, they're not in the business of video games, but name me a place that has a stranglehold on video game media right now. You can't, because there is none. And if they're able to do that, cut the checks, just send the money.
Would you say Netflix would be the closest one that has that video game media hold? Just judging by some of the series, like Witcher was on there.
They
anime.
probably have the most beloved adaptations as of right now. I don't think anybody has complained about Castlevania yet. Everybody loved The Witcher, so I think that they're probably the closest right now.
We asked on social media, at Checkpoint XP on Twitter and Facebook, what weird gaming habits do you have? We'll talk about your answers in a bit, because coming up next, we'll check out what's happening in the news. Robbie, what do you have for us?
Activision Blizzard just banned 500,000 accounts in Call of Duty Warzone, but did they deserve it?
Probably, but we'll find out when Checkpoint XP returns.
Get in the game.
What are we witnessing?
The #1 esports and video game radio show, Checkpoint XP, where gaming lives.
Welcome back. You've got me, James Campbell, and joining me are Weird Beard and someone who is one tier from getting platinum in Apex Legends again, Mr. Platinum, Robbie Landis.
Yeah, each season, all the ranks reset, and you have to climb the ladders again.
You haven't been Mr. Platinum since this new season started.
Look, once you get it, you're there.
We've been fraudulently calling you Mr. Platinum. You're really Mr. Gold or Steel?
Steel, bronze, silver. I have the weapon charm to prove it. I got the platinum the one season.
All right.
It's true.
I don't want to be known as the show that gets things wrong.
I feel like it's...
that's the last thing that we have to worry about in regards to my nickname.
Really.
Hey! Oh! The guy is unreal. My goodness!
Here's another esports gaming update with Robbie Landis on Checkpoint XP Radio.
No Man's Sky has added a pretty neat Mass Effect Easter egg. There's a new quest called Beachhead that if players complete it before it goes away, will get to add the Normandy SR-1 to their fleet. Now, the Normandy is the spaceship that Commander Shepard helms in the Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh, I bet you that's fun for you. I know you've been talking a little bit about playing No Man's Sky.
I tried to get back into it again, but it's not. And you don't actually get to fly the ship.
Oh, okay.
It's just part of your fleet, so you can like send it off on like side missions and stuff like that. But it is still a pretty cool addition. I like it. It's a nice Easter egg.
It's cool, but it's like a 5 out of 10 cool.
Yeah. Gotcha. The creator of the iconic manga and anime series Berserk, Kentaro Miura, passed away. Players in Final Fantasy XIV found a touching way to hold a tribute to the creator. Players all donned the Dark Knight class, which is heavily influenced by the work of Berserk, and lined up shoulder to shoulder through the main cities to honor the late manga creator.
Now, this is like, Berserk is one of the original like mangas, right? Like, it's been around for a very long time. It's influential to most anime that you would watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you see a dude holding a giant sword that he probably shouldn't be able to wield, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Berserk.
Okay, so that's kind of where that influence came from in the video game.
It's like
the character's name.
Yeah, it's like Akira was the anime like Japanese movie that started anime in the US. This is the manga that started big burly dudes with giant swords that's carried on for the next 30 years.
Big men with big swords.
Yes.
That's very cool. I always like it when gaming can emulate things you do in real life. Now, this is not the same as like the DMX, Rough Riders tribute to DMX, but it's very cool. It'd be impressive to see all these players in similar garb all lined up in the streets of this virtual world.
A classic first-person shooter from the PlayStation 2 era may be making a return. Deep Silver announced the creation of a new studio to helm a new Time Splitters game. Time Splitters is a wacky, time-traveling focused game, and it's been nearly 20 years since the last entry into the franchise.
Wow, 20 years. You've been waiting 20 years, Weird Beard. How do you feel?
Like, I remember the fact that I used to I'd tell my mom I was camping out, and we just set up a TV on the porch and run an extension cord out on the porch into the tent and play on a little tiny screen on the Xbox, play Time Splitters 2.
Do you want them to bring back Cortez, the main character from the original trilogy?
I don't care what they do.
I want them to, because you know what?
What?
He looks just like Vin Diesel. They could get Vin Diesel.
Does he really?
Game. He does. He does. Wow. Tell me I'm wrong.
Tell me I'm wrong for Vin Diesel.
Tell me I'm wrong, Weird Beard.
He's not wrong.
I'm not.
You Vin Diesel fanboy, you.
The new old Zelda game, Skyward Sword, that originally released on the Nintendo Wii, is being remastered for the Nintendo Switch. Also released is a special amiibo, which is a small figure that you can use to unlock special items in-game. But in the case of Skyward Sword, it also unlocks a feature that most games give to everyone for free. But if you want the ability to fast travel in Skyward Sword, you need this special amiibo, which is sold out, even though it's not even out yet.
But, I mean, the big issue is, like, is this the next thing Nintendo's going to screw us over with? Like, this feels like if it goes well, it's just going to become the thing.
It's already not gone well if you can't even get the amiibo and it's not even out yet.
That many people want to fast travel.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, okay.
These things usually sell out even without stuff like that. These things sell out that quickly. I
see these amiibos all the time at the Five Below.
But it's specific ones because different ones are worth way, way more, and they do
these are
different
like
things
Beanie
in
Babies.
games. Yeah,
These are like electronic Beanie Babies.
These are Beanie Babies for the Weird Beards of the world. Yeah,
and the fact that they've they've always been, if they added anything to a game, it like wasn't game breaking. It was like an additional whatever.
Well,
you know
I know
what
like
I mean?
Super Mario is a Galaxy. No, Super Mario, the one that I've been playing, Odyssey. I know they're always like, do you have an amiibo? Connect your amiibo to get bonus stuff.
But think of if you were only able to see how many stars were still left in a certain world, only if you purchased the
like
69
amiibo or something.
Yeah,
that would be a bummer.
Exactly. That's what's going to be happening.
Fast travel. Take my money. I'm sorry. I want a fast travel.
No, you should be getting that without having to buy an amiibo.
Boom. Exactly.
Yeah. As James and many of their players in Call of Duty Warzone can attest, cheaters are a problem.
Big problem.
Activision Blizzard seems to have taken some measure against them as it was announced that 500,000 accounts were banned from Call of Duty Warzone. Now, James, as our resident, or at least the person who probably plays Call of Duty Warzone the most, do you think it's enough?
I don't know. I mean, 500,000 accounts. That's a lot of accounts. You know, 500,000 accounts.
Warzone's free to play though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that it's 500,000 accounts worldwide is really not that.
I'm sure there's still
many
plenty
people.
of cheaters, but I'll be honest. I'm sure my lack of skills or my lack of success in Call of Duty Warzone is probably less attributed to the cheaters and more so to my horrible trash gameplay.
Finally, big changes are coming to Twitch subscriptions as Twitch looks to adjust prices based on your location. Currently, a subscription costs $5 and no matter where you live, you pay the equivalent of that, even if it's more than 5 of whatever your currency is. Going forward, sub prices will be adjusted and you will pay $5 in whatever your currency measurement is. This means that some people are technically losing sub money. For example, in Mexico, the new price is 48 pesos, which is $2.42. So for each sub from viewers in Mexico, you are losing half the sub money. Now, what Twitch says that you are losing in sub money, hopefully it will encourage people who haven't subbed up to this point to now sub, and it should even out in the end.
I will hope so. I don't know that that's going to even out, really. I mean, so what's the country where the dollar is worth more?
So for example, in Mexico, prior to this, if you wanted to sub to someone, you were paying almost 100 pesos.
Okay.
Now you're paying 48. So people, you know, who
so
weren't
you'll get
subbing
half of that
before,
48, so like 24 pesos is what you would make as a content creator.
Exactly.
Now, what about like I think the UK, like the American dollar is worth less.
It's pretty. It's still pretty close to 5. But the hope is that, you know, even though some places your sub intake might be getting cut in half, it should now encourage more people to sub because it's affordable.
You're listening to Checkpoint XP, your home for esports and video games. Weird Beard is bringing us a brand new game to try out. Can he convince me and Robbie to try out very, very, very...
To become a world-class valet, one must always be punctual, be polite, and above all, be very, very... Oh dear. Well, they should be cautious.
So, Muppets, parking cars, goofy, overcooked style gameplay. James, is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'm giving it. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, baby.
I think this looks fun.
I can believe it. I think you're pretty easy to get onto a fun train.
This is a fun, chill game.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out. You know, maybe got a couple friends online. We're just going to park some cars, or we're going to see how many pedestrians we can hit. We'll come up with some crazy challenges on our own.
I have a reputation to protect, so I am saying thumbs down to this Weird Beard game.
Boo, Robbie.
All I know is that I was sold the moment that they said Overcooked meets the Muppets. I need to hear nothing else. 2 glowing thumbs up from Weird
I would
Beard.
love it if Gonzo would valet my car.
Yeah, really.
We asked on social media over at Checkpoint XP on Twitter and Facebook, what weird gaming habits do you have? Well, we'll discuss your answers when Checkpoint XP returns.
Hey, this is Callie with the Checkpoint XP Save the Date calendar, letting you know about the latest esports competitions to look forward to in the coming weeks. The League of Legends Summer Split is scheduled to kick off on Friday, June the 4th, and run through the end of August. Winning there will be the next step in qualifying for the World Championships. The second Valorant Championship Tour Masters tournament will be held at the end of May. It'll be held in Reykjavik, Iceland, and is set to kick off on May 24th and run through the 30th. The next major Overwatch tournament will be the June Joust. Teams are vying for seeding right now, and the tournament will be held June 6th through the 13th. In professional Counter-Strike, all eyes are turning towards IEM Summer. The $250,000 tournament will be held in Europe and welcomes 16 of the world's best to compete. That tournament runs from June 3rd through the 13th. Valve has announced the return of the International this year. The 10th iteration of the event will take place in August and will once again break the record for the largest prize pool in all of esports, with over $40 million on the line. That's it for the Checkpoint XP Save the Date calendar. And remember, for all the latest in the world of esports, check out our website. You can check that out over at checkpointxp.com.
Time for the big brain plays. Checkpoint XP is back on your radio with James, Robbie, and Weird Beard.
Welcome back. You're hanging with Weird Beard, Robbie Landis, and someone who has completed his color challenges in Magic the Gathering Arena and has begun battling real people, me, James Campbell.
What's your record? How many people have you beat?
Don't ask a lady that number. Well, it's whatever she wants it to be.
Well, I'm a gentleman, and I will tell you, I've won once against real people.
Yeah, but don't tell them how many games.
I have been totally demolished. Like, not even, like, I'm an ant, and the opponent is the big, giant Shaquille O'Neal foot coming to smash.
So you're Mickey Mouse going up against like Gandalf the Grey, basically.
Yes. Like if I was a real wizard, they would send me right back to Hogwarts.
Oh, Hogsworth. That's great. Okay.
We asked on social media over at Checkpoint XP on Twitter and Facebook, what weird gaming habit do you have? I would say for me, I like to play barefoot. I don't know if that's that weird.
Hold on. Barefoot, like no socks or
shoes
just
off,
socks?
socks off.
That's what bare feet means.
Okay.
Weird beard.
I like the coolness of the tile on the basement floor, and then like for whatever
reason.
reason.
So like even if it's like really, really cold, you'll still take everything off?
Well, there might be an exception. Like in the middle of the winter, or if I just got in from snow blowing or something, I might keep some socks on.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you're like playing at a friend's house, you want to be barefooted?
Yes.
I would prefer it.
Oh, okay.
But
prefer it.
You have good foot hygiene?
I'll keep my socks on. Well, let's
Okay.
not take a look at my big toes. My big toes might have some questionable growth.
Okay, weird beard.
So I work on a computer a lot. Like I have a lot of computer chair time, right? I always have, if I'm playing like and trying to actually be good at something, I have a special cushion that I sit on so my butt
Is it a
doesn't
hemorrhoid
hurt.
cushion?
No, it's not a hemorrhoid cushion.
It's not one of those circular ones?
It's not a circular one.
Okay.
But it's made by like the blue mattress people. They do like
Is it like a good luck cushion? Is that how you look at it?
No, I take it out. I get rid of it if I'm playing games because it's like, all right, I'm serious. I don't need a butt cushion.
Oh, he's got to get rid of the butt cushion. I thought he needed the butt cushion.
That's
to help
what
him
I thought he was saying,
concentrate.
too.
No, that's because it's like when you edit videos, I don't care. I can sit in weird positions. I'll get the butt cushion. When it's game time, like I can't let somebody know I have to use a butt cushion.
Up there, front,
Get out of here.
ready to roll.
Weird. For me, and this is mostly when I'm playing competitive games, specifically Apex, especially if my warm-up games aren't going well. I'll like rotate through the settings on my mouse or like adjust my chair. I know it's in the right position because first of all, I never change the settings on my mouse.
Yeah.
But I'll still be like, no, this isn't the right one, and I'll just click through back to the same one, and I just have to do that for a few games until I finally feel like I'm warmed up with it, and then it's fine. I know it's not actually doing anything, but I'll just be like, something's wrong with this mouse, even though it's not.
Sounds like you got a little paranoia going.
It's not. Nothing's wrong with it. All right, so taking a look at what some of our listeners here, Volkai said, when capturing a Pokemon, I have always pressed A repeatedly to keep it from breaking out of the Pokeball, and in Pokemon Go, tapping the ball on the screen provides the same pleasing placebo effect. And I know where this actually comes from.
Where?
Because there was a rumor back in the day, back in the Game Boy days when it first came out, that if you hold down in B, it increases your chances of capturing the Pokemon.
Really? Yeah, listen.
Disproved.
Kids are stupid. That's the same
Disproved.
thing where they were like, oh, if you hit one button 500 times next to the truck, there's a Mew underneath it.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of like gaming tall tales.
Where my uncle works at Nintendo. You don't know him, but he said that if you hold down and B, it captures.
I'd fall for that stuff all the time.
Yeah, everybody did. Yeah. I still do it even when I play. Let's see. Mike said, I have a saving habit where I double save because I don't want to lose my progress. I kind of have that sometimes where I think I'll just like kind of zone out for a minute, or like when you save, you'll turn to do something and you come back and you're like, did I save?
I do that all the time, too.
I better save. You know what?
Yeah, better save again.
Saving again isn't going to hurt anything. I'll just save again. Jason said, I have to make sure my in-game auctions, when applicable, are posted and my inventories are empty of anything non-essential before logging off for the day. So he basically does like a little spring cleaning of his inventory whenever
such a tidy little gamer there.
That's like the people when they come home, they'll put their keys like in the bowl and they'll put their wallet and they have like a special place for everything to go.
Sounds like you're describing me again.
Oh, am I?
If I don't hang my keys up on the hook, I will never know where they are. They go into some abyss.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, here we have the Fretable Hulk. Said, when I get a new game or before I play a game, I have to clean and organize my man cave before I can sit down to play.
What? That defeats the purpose of having a man cave.
Yeah,
you need that
exactly.
man cave so you can be a man and just leave your crap everywhere. Leave your empty cans here. Leave your dirty socks here. Leave some pizza plates over here.
I feel like
just play a game.
I play games worse if my desk is clean. Like if I don't have 4 cans of G Fuel hanging around on it and like a plate of half-eaten something, it's too clean.
Gross. Hughes said his weird gaming habit is losing. It's not as weird as you think, Hughes.
It's very common in my in my neighborhood.
Let's see. DJ Chris Cruz says, whenever I get to a stressful part of a game, I constantly have to be fixing my hair.
Is he streaming?
It's just annoying, nervous tick. I don't know, but that's weird.
You got to make sure he's looking good.
That is a good weird one.
Those thoughts on Twitch.
Yeah, I like that one. We also asked people over on social media that if they could turn one video game into a novel or a comic book, what one would you want it to be? The Zero Uno said, I would like to see Life is Strange novels that actually follows the games in more details than maybe an extra one to see what they look like after the game. Well, I don't think you'll ever get that. There are actually Life is Strange graphic novels. I think Dark Horse or Image, one of those two, actually did a few series following events of the game.
That series is made to be like a book, essentially.
Oh, 100%, absolutely. The Mentalist said vampire game could be a good one with lots of interesting characters and nasty stuff going on and good backstory to dig into. Now, I'm not sure if the vampire game is set in the Vampire the Masquerade world or not, but if you are looking for that sort of stuff, I feel like Vampire the Masquerade would actually probably be right up your alley.
Very story driven, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tabletop game, just like D&D is. And then finally, Uwap Bay says Silent Hill. Even though there was already a brief comic stint, I'd like to see some full-on novels.
I mean, I think Silent Hill is like one of the Silent Hill and Resident Evil are the two horror games that have like a really cool mythos to them. Like they have a backstory, they have all kinds of cool stuff. The movies sucked, but the movies sucked because they're movies. You have like an hour and a half to do this whole dark, scary like background and everything like that. I think with a book or a comic series, you'd get a little bit more time to be able to
out
let
some of the characters, a little bit more of the history on some of these scary things that you're exploring or discovering in the game.
Yep. So the other thing that I'd like to touch on is Weird Beard. You have actually been churning out Valorant interviews following some of the most recent tournaments.
Yes. Mr. Valiant, huh?
Yeah. So
Valorant.
it's close enough. So right now the tournament is happening in Reykjavik to determine the very first winner of the first LAN and first international tournament happening for the entire esport. We've got all of the interviews that are going to be going up throughout this entire week and the weekend up on our website, checkpointxp.com, or over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/checkpointxp esports and video games. You can find them there. We get to talk to Sentinels, T1, a bunch of the Korean teams, Japanese teams, Brazilian teams, Team Liquid, Team Fnatic.
Can't believe you learned all those languages.
Yeah, well, we have translators, which is what makes it a little bit tougher, especially because like my style of interviewing is very like, dude, and I know that the translator is going to be like, dumb guy says dumb thing, and they just go, oh yeah, okay.
He very dumb.
Yeah, very dumb.
If you enjoy these responses, remember you can always include yours by commenting on our social media at CheckpointXP on Twitter and Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram at checkpoint_XP. However, we want to talk to you on the phone. So if you want to talk to us, give us a call at 1-833-557-0974. You can even call, you can chime in on whatever social media question we have posed, or you can ask any question you feel like the experts here at Checkpoint XP should be able to answer. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to us on your radio station. Make sure you head on over to checkpointxp.com. Check out the Checkpoint XP Daily. There you can hear the latest in video game news that's breaking that day. I want to send a big thank you to Robbie Landis, Weird Beard, and producer Callie for helping put this episode together. We hope you enjoyed this show. We'll talk to you again on the next level. Hey, it's James from Checkpoint XP. Now, you haven't been grinding solo queue for nothing. You're good enough for a varsity esports team, but you don't know where to look. That's where Looking For Group comes in. It's a directory of every college esport program in the country. Programs, scholarships, whether you're a varsity player or looking for a recreational team, Looking For Group has everything. Head to lfgroup.gg, find the college esports community that's right for you.